Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be treating 10 questions, okay? 10 most difficult GED geometry questions you can ever encounter in your GED test, okay? And I've also done several videos on the GED geometry section. You would find all the videos in the GED Crash playlist, which I'll leave the link in the video description box of this video. So, but for today, I'm going to be treating 10 questions, and this involves looking for the missing dimension. Okay, most times the GED geometry questions, they don't just go direct like find the area of the parallelogram. No, they would give you the area, give you one dimension, and tell you to find the missing dimension. Okay, so this video is all about helping you find the missing dimension in the various math formulas. The formula for the fair, when you have the R cube, how do you find R itself? Okay, we're going to be going through the math formula sheet. Okay, you can get the math formula sheet on our website, dtwgedprep.com. I'm going to leave the link in the description box, okay, and also, link to summary notes, study guides, free practice questions on your maths you can use, and also the link to my course, okay, where you can, go through that course to quickly take you through the maths, the GED maths. And also you can join the Facebook group that I created, which is over 15,000 now members. I'll leave the link to everything in the video description box. And also if you require one-on-one math tutoring, you can contact me. All right, so to get on to this question 1, okay, of the GED geometry practice. Okay, so here it says a parallelogram has an area of this, okay, if its height is this, what is the measure of its base? Now, from our formula sheet, you don't need to cram the formulas because you are given, the formula sheet would be given. So the formula sheet, it would be on your dashboard, so you don't need to memorize any formula. Okay, so from our formula sheet, the area of a parallelogram is A is equal to base times the height. Okay, base times the height of the parallelogram. Okay, this would be the height. Okay. All right, so if the height is 14 centimeter, what is the base? And we've been given the area as this. So you put for A is equal to 252, and our height, H, is equal to what? 14 centimeters. So let's put this here. So A is this, just substitute. We're looking for B. B is unknown because B is unknown. That's what we're looking for. Times your H. B and H, binds them is what? Multiplication. So times what? 14. So to get our B, we divide both sides by what? 14. Divide by 14. This 14 will cancel out. We're left here with just B. And 252 divided by 14 is 18. Okay, so B is equal to 18 centimeter. Okay, because here we have centimeter square and here we have just centimeter. 1 centimeter will cancel out 1 centimeter. We're just left with 1 centimeter. That's why we have B is equal to 18 centimeters. So our base is 18 centimeter on this question. Let's go to the next one. Okay, question 2 of the GED geometry practice test says the trapezoid below has a perimeter of this. What is the sum of the length of its missing sides? Okay, when we talk about perimeter is all about the summation of all sides of any shape. Whichever shape it is the summation of all sides. Okay, so it says the perimeter of this is this. Okay, so P is equal to, that's the perimeter, P is equal to, let's give this unknown side as x1 and x2. Okay, so we have here, we can just put the known sides are 42 plus 36, then plus the unknown sides are what? X1 plus x2. And we've been told that P is 146, right? So we have 146 equal to this plus this would give us 878, okay, plus x1 plus x2. So to get x1 plus x2, we take this here. So we have 46. When you're taking a number over to the other side of the equation, it becomes, because here it's a positive, when it crosses, the sign changes to what? Negative. Or you can say subtract 78 from both sides. Okay, either way. Okay, so here 146 minus 78 will give us what? 68, equal to x1 plus x2. So here our answer, because it says what is the sum of the length of its missing side. So the sum of the length of the missing side is what? 68 inches. Don't forget the unit, inches. Okay, so this is the answer for question 2. Let's go to the next question. Now question 3 of our GED geometry practice. It says the area of a square is this. What is the length of a side of the square? Length of a side. You can see a side. Okay? And from our formula sheet, the formula for area of a square is what? S square. Okay, and it has told us our area is what? 121. So what to look for? The length of a side. That's one side, S. Okay, all right. You know a square has all sides what's equal. So if this is S, this is S, this is S, and also this is S. Okay, so one side, all sides are equal. So what to just look for? S alone. So here the area of this square is 121 equal to S square. Now, when you have something like this in maths, S square, and you're told to just find only S, what you do is you square root both sides. Okay? When you square root S square, it's just going to give us 1S. Okay? And when you square root 121, it's going to give us 11. So S is equal to 11 centimeter. All right? Do you get me? When you have this in maths, you have S square, okay, and another number by the side. When you want to get just one value for S, what you do is you find the square root of both sides. Okay, and I think I've explained this in a separate video which you can find on my channel. Okay, if I've not done that, I'm going to check and do this, explain these powers after this video. Okay, but this is what you do in maths. All right, so when you have something like this, you are just to find only S, you square root both sides. So you find the square root of this, it gives you S. The square root of 121, it gives you 11. So our answer is what? 11. This is the length of the side of this square, 11. Let's go to the next question. Number 4 says the perimeter of a rectangle is 72 inches. If the width is 14 inches, what is the length of the rectangle? So the width is 14 inches. The area, that's the area, is what? Perimeter, I mean. Perimeter is what? 72 inches. So what is the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle? It is P from our formula sheet. P is equal to 2L. That's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Okay, from here we know that P is 72. We don't know our length, so let's leave it as 2L plus we know our width as 14. That would be 2 times what? 14. So we have 72 equal to 2L plus what is 2 times 14? That's 28. Let's take 28 here, okay, and leave just 2L here. You know, we're looking for L. Taking 28 here, we have 72. Taking a positive 28 down here, it becomes a negative 28 equal to 2L. And what is 72 minus 28? That will give us 44 equal to 2L. Now, to get L, you know, this is is bonded by multiplication sign, okay? So to get L, what we do is we divide both sides by 2. So 2 would cancel out here to just leave us L alone. And, you know, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you also do to the same. Okay, that's what I did on that square rooting both sides. When you square root one side, you have to square root the other side. Okay, so 44 divided by 2 will give us what? 22. So L is equal to 22 inches. Okay, so this is how you find your length of this particular rectangle given your perimeter. Number 4. Here it says a cylindrical storage tank used to store a chemical has a volume of this and a height of this. You can see this fraction. The GED always put in fractions in their word problems, their geometry problems, just to test your knowledge of fractions. You might not really just see fraction questions given directly. They will just be in your question as word problems. So you should know how to, work with fractions. And the best thing about the GED is that the fractions given can be easily converted to your decimal points, okay? I mean your decimal figures, all right? So this 3/4 is always good to know some similar fractions and their conversion to their decimal numbers. Okay, 3/4 is 0.75 and 1/2 is what? 0.5. Okay, these are the popular ones that usually come out from the GED test, so you should get to know them. 1/3 is 0.33. Okay, this is 0. Sorry, I didn't add the 5. Okay, 0.50. Okay, so know this easy conversion from fraction to decimal. Okay, so from here, now you see we're given the volume, we're given the height, and we're told to find the radius of the tank. Okay, that's what we're told to find. The height is what? 21 3/4. We're told to find the radius. The volume is 2,500 cubic feet. Okay, so from our GD formula sheet, the volume of a cylinder is what? Pi r square h. All right, we are given our V as this, so let's put it here, 2,500. Our pi from the GED, it would always state pi as what? 3.14. So we have 3.14 times, we're looking for r, so we leave r as r squared since we don't know r, times h is what? 21 3/4. We can quickly change this as what? 21.75. Okay, just add this 0.5 to 21. Okay, 0.75 to 21. When you add it, you have 21.75. Okay, so we have 21.75. All right, so what we do here is I would prefer that we multiply this. Let's multiply these two numbers here. So we have 2,500 equal to this times this would give us a 68.295 times r square. Now to let r square be alone here, so we can find r, we divide both sides by 68,295, divide by 68,295, and this would cancel, so we're left only with r square here. This divided by this would give us, punching your calculator, there's a calculator, there will always be calculator on your dashboard. For questions like this, calculator will be allowed. Okay, so we have this, so it means r square is equal to 36.60, and it says to the nearest cubic feet, so we're going to approximate very soon. So here, as I said earlier on, we have r squared, so to get just r alone, we have to square root this, and when you square root one side, you have to find the square root of the other side, and the square root of this is 6.05. Okay, so from here we're told to what is the radius of the tank to the nearest cubic feet. So to the nearest cubic feet, r will be what? The nearest cubic feet, that is a whole number. You look at after the decimal point, you check for the next number. Is this number up to 5? It's not up to 5. Okay, so it means we cannot approximate a 1 to add to this 6. Okay, that's the way approximation is done. Okay, so we have to just leave 6 alone. So r to the nearest, the radius to the nearest cubic feet is what? 6 what? Sorry, this shouldn't be cubic feet, just to the nearest feet is 6 what? Feet. Okay, so this is our answer, 6 feet. All right, you see questions like this, it might not you know, the GD questions like a lot of text to get you a bit worried and confused, but all you need to know is just bring out what you need, okay, the values you need, that's all, and apply your formula. All right, so this is the answer for this. Let's go to the next number. This question 6 says the area of a triangle with a height of 12 feet is 64 square feet. What is the base of the triangle in the nearest feet? What is the formula for the area of a triangle? Is what? Half base times what? Height. Okay? So we've been given the area as what? 64 square feet. So we have 64 equal to half. We've been given our height. We don't know our base. We're told to find the base. Okay, so B times our height is what? 12. Okay, so what I'll do here with this fraction, this half, is to just say I can just cross this here, or I can simply cancel it out here. So I'll say 2 here 1, 2 here 6. So here we're left with 64 equal to b times what? 6, right? So to get b, we divide both sides by 6. This would cancel. We're left with b here. And 64 divided by 6 will get what? A 10.66. Okay, so b is equal to a 10.66. But here it says to the nearest feet. Okay, to the nearest feet means we're looking at the whole number. Okay, so we have 10 here. Immediately after the decimal point, is this number greater than 5 or equal to 5? It is greater than 5, so it means we can approximate a 1 to add to here. So we finally have 1 plus this 10 will give us what? 11. Okay, so to the nearest feet, our base is what? 11 feet. Do you see that? Okay, this is our answer. Okay, I've noticed most GD questions, you always see to the nearest feet, to the nearest tenth of feet, to the nearest hundred of something you get. So you need to know how to approximate correctly. All right, and most of them usually do, you have a box, you don't have options. You just have a box that you have to write the answer. All right, so please, when you have that, please make sure you write your feet, okay, your unit of measurement, and approximate well. Okay, so number 7, we have a question here. It says 7 of the GED geometry practice. It says the volume of a tennis ball in a shape of a sphere is this cubic inches. What is the radius of the tennis ball in inches? So we're looking for the radius. We know the volume of the sphere. All right, so we apply. What's the formula for the volume of the sphere? It's V is equal to 4 over 3 pi r cube. Okay, so we're looking for the radius. We know V as what? 523.34, okay, equal to 4 over 3. Pi is what? 3.14, then times r cube. Pi will always be given as 3.14, okay? You would see it in the question and your GED formula sheet. So from here, what do I do? There's nothing to cancel out. So I would prefer, let us just take this 3. Should we just take this 3 and multiply here? Yes, we can do that. Just take this 3. Let this 3 multiply here. So we have 523.34 times 3 equal to 4 times 3.14 times r cube. All right, so next is to get r cube alone. R cube, because that's the target. R cube has to stand alone. All right, to make r cube stand alone, we can divide both sides by this 4 times 3.14. Okay, 4 times 3.14. So this would cancel out. So we're left just with r cube here. If you punch in your calculator, do all this, calculations on your calculator, you should get a 125. All right, you should get a 125. And from here, to get r alone, so it's 125 equal to r cube, so which also means r cube equal to 125. So to get r alone, what you do is you cube root. When you cube root r cube, it gives you r. So you also have to cube root what? This number 125, and the cube root of 125 is a 5. All right, I hope you know how to find cube roots. I've done a video on powers and roots. Okay, you should watch that video. I think I used the calculator to teach how to find cube roots and all that, so that video would help you. All right, I will leave the link in the description box, okay, for you to learn further. So the cube root of 125, when you use your GED calculator, you will get a 5. All right, so our radius here is what? 5 inches. All right, so let's go to the next question. Our next question is a question on cone. Okay, so this is question 8 of the GED geometric practice test, a question on cone. It says a cone that holds 30 cubic inches of cereal has a diameter of 6 inches. To the nearest inch, what is the height of the cone? So it told us that the diameter is what? 6 inches. You know, the diameter is from a line that crosses the center of the circle that touches 2 points of the circle and passes through the center. So this is the diameter. If the diameter is 6, then it means the radius, which is half of a diameter from here to here, is 3. From here to here is 3. So the radius is equal to 3. Okay, and what's the formula for the volume of a cone? The volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r square h. Okay, we know that the volume is 30, V is 30, equal to 1 over 3. Our pi is times 3.14. You know, pi is what? Pi is 3.14 on our formula sheet. Our r square, you can see, thank God I just quickly did the r. From here, you were given the diameter, so you must know how to find the radius from a diameter, okay? When you're given diameter, the radius is just simply half of the diameter, okay? So here is r is equal to 3, so that is 3 square, okay? 3 raised to the power 2, then times h. We're looking for h, okay? That's the height. So from here, we have 30 is equal to 1 over 3 times 3.14 times 3 square is what? 9 times h. Okay, I can cancel out 3 here. Okay, that's I'm just breaking this down for simplification, but you can just use your calculator. Okay, so 3 will be here. All right, so from here we are left with 30 is equal to 3.14 times 3 times h. So I will divide both sides by 3.14 times 3, 3.14 times 3. This would cancel out. We're left just here with h. That, you know, that's the goal, to make h stay alone, the unknown stand alone on one side of the equation. When I do this on my calculator, 30 divided by this, okay? What I will get is what? A 3.18. All right, so h is equal to 3.18, and it doesn't stop there. It says to the nearest inch. So to the nearest inch, you can see here, after the 3, after the decimal point, we just have 1. All right, 1 is not up to 5, so we can't approximate here. So h is just equal to 3 inches. Okay, so this is our answer, 3 inches. All right, let's go to the next question. So we have question 9 of the GED geometry practice. It says if the area of a circle, the area is 16 pi. Okay, you can see this now, put in pi. All right, so this is not telling us to, this question is not like telling us to put pi as equal to 3.14. All right, you see what I mean here. If the area of a circle is 16 pi, that's square feet, then what is its diameter? What's the area of the circle formula? It is A is equal to pi r square. So the question is asking for its diameter, but the area is this, pi r square. So we have to look for the radius first. With the value of the radius, we can now get the diameter. All right, so here, this is A is what? 16 pi equal to pi r square. So here, we can just easily, to make r square stand alone, we divide both sides by pi, divide by pi. This pi cancels here, and it cancels out this pi here. So we're left here with 16 equal to r square, okay? And which is the same as r square is equal to 16. So as I said earlier on, to get just r, we do what? We square root both sides. So when we square root 16, we get 4. All right, so our radius is 4. It doesn't stop there. It says, what is its diameter? Okay, don't just stop there and just pick the option 4. What is its diameter? So the diameter will be 2 times what? D is 2 times R. Okay, 2 times radius. That will be 2 times 4, and which is what? 8. So the diameter is what? 8 feet. That will be the diameter of this circle, 8 feet. All right, so this is our answer. Okay, now to the final question here, all right, of our question 10 of the GED geometry practice. It says here we have a lot of fractions. It says here, the volume of a rectangular prism whose height is this and length is this. Calculate its width to the nearest inch. Now, what is the formula for finding the volume of a prism, rectangular prism? It is V equal to L times what? Width times your height. Okay, so we know our V as this. Let us just, put our 3/4 as, points. So this would be 80.75. This is 11.75. And our half here is 8.50. Okay, so our V volume is 180.75 equal to, are we given our length? Yes, our length is 11.75. We're told to find our width. So the width is the unknown. So leave it as W. Our H is what? 8.50. So from here to get our width, to make it stand alone, what we do is we divide both sides by this 11.75 times 8.50 times 8.50. So this would cancel out, this would cancel out. We're left here with just W. When you punch in your calculator, 1/8 this divided by this times and this, okay, it would give us what? 1.809. So W, our width is what? 1.809 inches. Okay, but here it says to the nearest what? Inch. So to the nearest inch, we can approximate this. Since immediately after 1, we have a number that is greater than 5. So we can approximate and add the 1 here. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So our final answer is 2 inches to the nearest inch. Okay, so 2 inches. So thank you for staying tuned to the end of these 10 questions focusing on the GED geometry. Okay, so I know that as you watch this video to the end, any geometry questions, I've done a video on how to find the perimeter and area of irregular shapes and figures. Okay, I'll leave all the videos are in the geometry crash course, the playlist. And also you can get those videos on my course, and after the course there are several practice questions you can use to practice and practice and practice. It's needed to pass your GED maths. Okay, so thank you for staying to the end of this video. Finally, don't forget that Jesus Christ is coming soon. Give your life to Christ, for He's the way, He's the truth, and He is the life. He's the one who's going to lead us to heaven at last, and also give us that life here on earth, heaven on earth. Give us strength, joy, peace, and love here. So please, He's calling you today. Open your heart and accept Him as your Lord and Savior, and turn from every of your old ways, embrace righteousness, holiness, and He's going to give you every beauty. For your ashes, your sadness is going to give you joy in abundance. All right, so thank you for staying tuned. You are destined to win in your GED test and also in life. Okay, and also don't forget to subscribe and share this channel. Take care and see you in our next video.